Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Wednesday, August 14th, 2013. Well, the news on tap for today. Producer Price Index could have a market impact at 8:30 a.m. this morning. And then there's the Petroleum Status Report at 10:30 with a lesser impact. And then another Fed chairman is talking this afternoon, actually twice. The big day, of course, is tomorrow, where we have a total of 4 red stars and 3 gold stars. And a lot of stuff is happening before the market opens on Thursday, so that should be interesting to see what kind of impact that has. And then Friday, there's actually some pretty big hitters coming up that day as well. Okay, let's take a look at the Asian markets and how they did. They did rather well, except for Shanghai, but everybody else did pretty good. Ended with a positive day yesterday, and over in Europe, actually looking relatively flat and mixed, I guess you could say. Okay, we have a lot to cover today, so I'm just going to jump right over here. I wanted to show you this. This is interesting. I get these cherry bombs every morning from Tom Sonsoff, and in here he talks about, I think this is Carl Icahn. Is that how you pronounce his name? Tim Cook, of course, is the CEO of Apple, and Carl Icahn is a very rich person who yesterday was saying that he thought Apple was undervalued and he's heavy into it. So Tom doesn't like too much of what he did yesterday. He thought it was rather childish. But his closing down here is interesting in that he says, regardless, your market capitulation moment has arrived. Don't be shy. I read into that he thinks there's going to be a correction. But, you know, he's probably better than a lot of other people. But again, it's just nobody can really predict the future. So I thought you'd like to see that. All right. What else are we going to look at here? Let's go right to our account and we'll talk about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we had almost all the alerts trigger. We had Apple, Chipotle, CELG, and Netflix all trigger. And of those 4, I got into actually 3 of them. I did not do Netflix, and we'll just take a quick look here at Netflix, and I'll explain why. We were looking at doing this 250, 245 bull put. And when I looked at it, this is pretty much what it looked like. The 250 delta was just too low. Was not going to, really pull enough money out of that. At that time, I believe it was probably right around 10 or so. And there wasn't a lot of credit involved in it. And to move up to the 255 was just too risky, in my opinion. And this is pretty much what it looked like when I looked at it around 11:30 or 12 o'clock Eastern time yesterday, which would be sort of between these two candles here. Although I don't know exactly where the price was at that time, but just to let you know that it just was moving into a space that was in between those deltas. And when you got, a stock that's has $5 spreads and is in this range here, that just sometimes the price lands in a spot that makes it either too risky. It could be too risky in either one. I mean, here you're not collecting enough credit, and here you're just too close to the current strike. I mean, this delta was close to 50 yesterday when I looked at it. It was 40, around 40. So I took a pass on Netflix. But I did jump in on Apple, and Apple was a good one yesterday because, everybody pretty much knows what the chart looks like from yesterday. I got in right around here, actually around noon, and I got ended up almost at 100% profit on this thing. Potential's on 142 and I'm at 129. And this is a intraday after hours chart, and we see that Apple just continues its march up even though it closed down here. It's in the after hours, it's just continuing to march up, and we have almost 7,000 shares traded in the pre-market here. The other one was CELG. Got in on that one, still waiting to collect some sort of get a little bit of theta going on this. $20 today if it price stays here. Chipotle, got into that one, and that one kind of came back on me. This was a bear call. Got in right around between these two candles here, and then it took some money away from us, but we'll see how that works out. And remember, these are against this 50-day moving, or 50-period moving average here, based on all of our other indicators. And as of yesterday, this MACD was headed down, and the moving average was headed down, and we have downward, downward, and downward over on the weekly. So we had a lot of confirmation for a bearish or bullish move on, or bearish move on this. I don't know why I can't just be automatic on those. Okay, gold is this. We're almost like perfect here with a delta of 396. So that one is working out very, very well. We'll be expiring everything out of the money hopefully this Friday. Google is also doing quite well. Not sure when I got into that one. When did I get in here? I must have been Monday. Open this one on Monday. This also is, we have a green 50 MA here, and down, 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 and down. So that's why we went in with a bearish trade on that. And the spiders, the weekly SPY, looks like it has a good probability of expiring out of the money and being successful, along with TLT, which is the tracks. It's the ETF for. I'm sorry, I had a senior moment there. ETF for the Treasury notes, 20-year Treasury notes. Wow, that was really bad. Okay, that's what I get for looking at one thing and trying to talk about something else, and I think sometimes I may do that, so bear with me. All right, pre-market here, we're looking at a slightly down open. We have gold at 1321 and oil pulling back a tad at 106. I would like to see it move below 105 and then eventually below 100, but that may never be. All right, I wanted to also, we haven't looked at the VIX lately. So if we were to take a look at the VIX, and let's go over to our charts, and I want to throw up here a no study daily chart and take a look at what the VIX is doing here, and it's really, really low. There's not a lot of volatility in the market right now. just for fun, though, let's throw that up against. Let's compare it to, compare to the SPX. So if we look at the SPX this way, which is this purple line, it looks like we might be moving into a head and shoulders situation, but I think that this is all happening too fast, and I don't think we can really determine actually what's going on here. Reverse head and shoulders, maybe down here, maybe double bottom, maybe a double top here. I don't know. We just never know. But I like to once in a while take a look at this and see how they compare to each other. Do this periodically, and we can zoom out a little bit here. And I get too much junk on here. Actually, if we had lines for both, it would be a lot easier to take a look at. And but I'm not going to switch it right now. I have another chart that I want to show you that is interesting. So that's this one, and now when you want to remove this, you just say delete the comparison line, and you go back to where you were. Okay, let's take a look at an old profit chart comparison that I have here that I had set up a while back, and I just never changed it because I hardly ever use profit charts. But this is interesting. The white line is the Dow, so that's the white line running along here. The blue line is the NASDAQ, and that's it running along here and actually looking stronger than a Dow, which is pretty interesting. They usually track each other rather well. And I think a lot of this has to do with Apple, and Apple is this green line. So Apple weighs heavily in the NASDAQ. So that's when Apple's making powerful moves, the NASDAQ does too, because it's weighted so heavily in there. Exactly what the ratio is, I'm not sure. But I thought you would like to see that. All right, let's jump over to our A+ list. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today, so we'll get right into our scan really quickly. Try to get this over with. Apple, we're in. Amazon. All right, this alert, we're looking to get into it, and it's no longer valid. So we're going to wait for another entry opportunity, but like many of the others, we have momentum leaving, stochastic headed down, momentum leaving. It's just maybe Sonsoff is right. But this would be a counter trend trade as well, but I'm not going to do any more counter trend trades. I'm just going to hold off for right now. I have enough at risk against the trend. So we'll take a pass on that. Baidu. We wanted to go counter trend on this, and it did not work out. So I'm taking that off the alert, but I'm going to keep this yellow line up here. This is a counter trend trade that did not confirm, so we didn't get into it, and that's a good thing. CELG, we're in on that. CF. What do we have here? Nothing. Very flat. No energy. Momentum heading towards zero. Not interested. I take that off of there so I don't have to pull data for so many charts. Chipotle, we're in on that. Gold, we're in right now. Google, we'll take a look at. We're in on that as well. This August bear call. We have an alert set here to bail or take a look at it. I'm going to move this alert down a little bit to this low here. Alrighty. Not interested in doing anything more in Google. Goldman. Come on, charts. Alright. Goldman may be setting up here. I need a little bit more confirmation on this, but maybe setting up for another move up. I'm just not ready to jump in on this right now, just because on the weekly we're not in sync here on the weekly, and it's a lot not in sync except for the 50 MA. There's a lot that's not in sync, so we'll take a pass on that one. Let's see, LinkedIn. Ouch. No entry on LinkedIn. Very strong upward trend. Just wait, be patient on that one. MasterCard. We got a little bit of a hook here, so I think that we can go ahead and I definitely want to get past the high here. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to put an alert here. And we'll see if that one triggers. Netflix we took a pass on. I don't think it's valid for this week anymore. What do we have here for expirations? We have next week. I guess I could have gone to next week too if I had wanted to. 250 here looks pretty good, so I'm going to re-alert this thing. Would like to see it move above this high, so we'll throw our alert in up there and see if it gives us an opportunity. Alrighty. Priceline. Priceline continues to move down and looks like it wants to maybe close this gap. We'll take a pass on it for right now. Panera. I want to set an alert here for Panera. This moving average is down, this one's down, this one's up. We've got kind of mixed confirmation here, but I just want to... No, I'm going to take a pass on it. Too many conflicting points of information on that. Tesla is back to correcting itself a tad. So let's see if we can throw a target in here. Oops. And wait for an entry on that one. And Visa's already trading. Huh. We bailed on this August bull put. So we'll get rid of that drawing. And what are we looking at here? Darn flat. This momentum's even below the zero line. And we're coming down over here. Sure does look like as though it's running out of gas, but we don't have a good entry here on our stochastic, so we're taking a pass on that. So, alright, overall we have an alert on Master and Netflix for today. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.